Let's start with the big story that we are tracking on Beyond Wallet at this hour, where the Japanese firm Mitsubishi Heavy Industries has agreed to purchase Bombardier's CRJ aircraft program for as much as about $550 million. The Bombardier is in fact selling its CRJ plant, on which almost about 300 people work directly or indirectly on production line. This deal will give the Japanese company an immediate access to an extensive maintenance and sales network in the jet industry. Mitsubishi has also agreed to pay all liabilities of almost about $200 million of the Canadian group. Bombardier has an additional liability of almost about $400 million from residual value guarantees. But these extra $400 million are not part of a deal with Mitsubishi. The Bombardier employs almost about 3,600 people across several locations in Northern Ireland. The Montreal-based Bombardier has been selling off its weaker-performing commercial plane programs to focus on the profitable business jets and also on passenger rail cars. The Bombardier will continue to assemble its regional jet planes, but will stop making them in the second half of next year after delivering its remaining backlog of 42 orders. The Bombardier has said that it is reviewing the impact of the sale on the Northern Ireland sites and will evaluate ways to mitigate any potential effect on the workforce. Meanwhile, for Boeing's 737 MAX fleet, it is one disappointment followed by another. Now, in the latest instance, the U.S. aviation regulator, the FAA, has reportedly identified yet another potential risk for the aircraft. Now, the Federal Aviation Authority has said that there is another risk that needs to be addressed pretty immediately before the 737 MAX jets can actually return to air service again. The FAA has tweeted about this new finding, and I quote here, "The FAA recently found a potential risk that Boeing must mitigate." So this, of course, is the statement that is being tweeted by the Federal Aviation Authority in the United States. Now, the risk was uncovered during a simulator test. The FAA did not elaborate on what exactly the issue was, but there is still at this point of time no clarity on whether the issue can be addressed with just a software upgrade or will require some kind of a hardware fix. Now, what this new setback means is that Boeing will not be able to conduct a certification test anytime soon, at least not until the 8th of July. Now, there are already a couple of issues that Boeing and the FAA have been working with in regard to the 737 MAX. The first is the aircraft's anti-stall system, or the MCAS, which is a malfunction in the MCAS which came to light after the Lion Air and the Ethiopian airline crashes. Now, according to experts, the pilots of the ill-fated flights struggle to disengage the aircraft's automated anti-stall system. The pilots could not regain control of the cockpit while the anti-stall system repeatedly pushed the aircraft's nose downward. Now, the second problem, of course, came to light earlier in the month. The FAA said that more than 300 Boeing 737 jets have faulty wing parts, and these defective parts have been installed in the aircraft's leading-edge slat track, and that they could be susceptible to quote-unquote premature failure or cracks. The FAA also said that a crack in the leading-edge slats cannot solely bring down an aircraft, but it can severely damage it mid-air. At least about 148 aircraft are currently fitted with these defective parts. They were all produced by a single supplier. Now, of these, Boeing has said that it has identified almost about 20 737 MAX and 21 737 NG planes that are most likely operating with these faulty parts. Now, the 737 MAX was Boeing's most selling aircraft. The fleet was grounded following the Ethiopian Airlines flight ET302 crash in the month of March in 2019. A total of about 346 people have been killed in two air disasters involving the 737 MAX.